Hey everyone, this is Paulio Jr. and today I wanted to do a quick video on what to do once you have some corrosion on your car battery. So the car I have is a 1999 Jeep Grand Cherokee, and for many reasons, as you can see, all around my terminals are all corroded to absolute shit. Now make sure before you even touch anything on the actual battery that you are wearing some sort of glove, because if this stuff gets in your eye, gets on your skin, it can really burn like shit. So the best thing, what I'm gonna do first, and I'll pause the video, is I'm gonna get my little ratchet set. I'm actually gonna disconnect these guys that are coming from going to the negative, the wires that are going to the negative terminal, and then the wires that are going to the positive terminal. So I'm going to take all these pieces off. I'm going to take this off, take these guys out, take these guys out, take this off. And what we want to do is, typically you would get like a wire brush, something like that, and first scrape off any of that that corrosive material from the batteries, and then we're just going to do some preventive maintenance to make sure that that this doesn't happen anytime in the near future. So let me take these guys off first. As long as you have just a regular ratchet set, you can take these off, and even with these you can use a smaller wrench or even a pair of pliers to take these off the terminal. So everything's connected great, but what I noticed with mine was I started having issues with my stereo, and my stereo is completely fine. It's hooked up perfectly, but since there's a fluctuation in the amount of voltage that's going through to the vehicle, it goes on and turns off, it goes on and turns off, and so forth. So, and I know that it has to do with this corrosion on the battery terminal. So it really messed up some stuff. The alternator, it's obviously supposed to take over, but if this is happening, then your battery won't get, it's very likely that your battery won't get fully charged in a lot of instances. And that's obviously what you need. So you want while the car's running, obviously you want the alternator to be charging the battery while still running the rest of the electrical system. So we're going to work on that. So let me take these guys off, and then we'll go to the next step. So as you guys can see, after taking apart the actual covers for the terminal that connect the wires from the alternator to the battery, how corroded this actually is. Corroded to absolute shit. So these are actually the old parts. So what I'm going to do is, you can buy these terminals for next to nothing, these guys, the terminal holders, and very self-explanatory. Basically unscrew these top two screws right here, and they will go, just make sure you pair them up to the right color. They will actually go right into the center right there. Make sure they're tied down tight. And so for these guys, what I'm going to do is, I don't have an actual wire brush, so I'm just going to use what I have, and that's just this little bit right here, just to kind of scrape some of this off. If it really came down to it, I would actually even strip this wire, cut this wire completely off, strip the red wire, and then use that. But I don't have much more room here. So what I'm going to do is just go like that, get all the corrosive stuff out of there, clean the terminals up as well, make sure the whole battery is completely clean, and then we'll go to the next part after that. Okay, so since the old terminal posts were so destroyed and corroded, I just have two new ones. They're actually really inexpensive. You can get them online or any auto parts store for really cheap. And so this is what I had to work with. So I did not want to strip this wire any more than I had to. So I got it as clean as possible. And those guys should be good. I cleaned around the battery with just some general Windex. But right now, I'm actually going to use petroleum jelly. And this is your big time preventive maintenance for your battery terminals in general. So the components that are in the petroleum jelly, and don't worry, you can definitely put more. You can put as much as you need on there. It's not a big deal. And we're going to put them directly over the battery terminals themselves, all around it. I mean, it can be absolutely covered on here. It's not going to matter. The more the merrier, pretty much. And now I have, like I said before, make sure you do wear gloves because you are dealing with stuff that is corrosive. And I would definitely recommend wearing some kind of glasses. So we're all set there. You can see the new terminals that are up there. And this is a very, very easy process. We have our wires clean. We get the petroleum jelly over the actual battery terminals themselves. So we can just kind of wiggle this guy on there. Get it down as much as possible. And then these guys will go together. So you can even crimp them if you really need to. I have a pair of lineman's pliers where I could actually crimp these together. I mean, as best as I can. I do have crimpers as well, but I just more or less want to get them as tightly together as possible. And now my gloves are all lubed up, so I'm gonna do my best here to get this in here. So I actually might need to take off these bolts, but everything is very slippery right now. So these are going to actually go into the slot in here together, both of the wires, if I can get it. Come on. Now, as long as they're together, then we should be absolutely fine. So we have our negative side ready to go. And like I said, everything's a little bit slippery right now. So I'm going to do the best I can here. But the petroleum jelly, some kind of Vaseline, is definitely the best way to do this. So you can stop. Okay, so I actually took this off the terminal post off itself, just to make it easier, because I have the underside of the bolts that I don't want to completely come off, and it just gives me some more leeway to work on this as well, to tighten it. I'll definitely tighten it down as much as possible. And so everything's cleaned up. We have the battery terminals cleaned up. We have brand new battery terminal posts, which is excellent, so we don't have to rely on the old corroded ones. And we have the wires cleaned as much as possible as well. So it's just going to be just like this, right on there. That's it. And all we're going to do is tighten that together, and then all we're going to do is repeat the process over here. So these guys were a little bit more, the positive side was a little bit more corroded, so I might actually just throw some petroleum jelly on these wires as well, and then just repeat the same process for the positive like we did the negative, and then you're good to go, and that's it. So thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. Like if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, and leave a comment below. Later.